Chapter 11 Simple Machines. Read on. You use different machines in your daily life. Machines help us to do our work faster. A machine can be defined as a tool that makes our work easier by helping us to overcome a large force by applying lesser force and effort. When you think of machines, you usually think of washing machines, aeroplanes, refrigerators, etc. Such machines are called complex machines. They consist of two or more simple machines work together. Things like staplers, scissors, and brooms are also machines. They are simple machines. Simple machines use a single force to overcome a single load. Simple machines. Simple machines make our work easier in any of the following ways. By increasing the amount of force applied. By changing the direction of force applied. By increasing the speed of doing work. In this lesson, you will learn about 6 types of simple machines. Seesaw, ramp, pulley, screw, axe, bicycle wheel. Lever. A lever is a rigid rod that can move freely around a fixed point. A lever consists of the following 3 parts. Fulcrum, F. It is the fixed point around which the lever moves. Load, L. It is the object on which work is to be performed or that has to be moved. Effort, E. It is the force that has to be applied on the rod in order to perform a task. Load arm. Load arm is the distance between the fulcrum and load. Effort arm. Effort arm is the distance between the fulcrum and the effort. When the lever is balanced, then effort multiplied by effort arm is equal to load multiplied by load arm. Types of lever. Based on the position of the fulcrum, load, and effort, levers can be divided into 3 classes. First class of lever. In the first class lever, the fulcrum is located between the load and the effort. Crowbar, a pair of scissors, and a seesaw are examples of first class levers. Second class lever. In the second class of lever, the load is located between the fulcrum and effort. A wheelbarrow, bottle opener, and nutcracker are examples of second class of levers. Third class of lever. In the third class of lever, the effort is located between the fulcrum and load. A pair of tongs, a tweezer, a stapler, and a fishing rod are examples of third class of levers. A fact. Greater is the distance between the effort and fulcrum, greater is the load can be moved. Inclined plane. An inclined plane is a sloping surface in which one end is higher than the other. An inclined plane reduces the force you have to use to lift something, but the distance that has to be covered is increased. A ramp in hospitals, flyovers, and winding roads on hills are examples of inclined planes. It is interesting to know that the steeper an inclined plane, more force needs to be applied to push the load up, but the distance covered will be less. On a gradual inclined plane, lesser force will be needed to push a load up, but the distance covered will be more. Screw. A screw is an inclined plane wrapped into a spiral. The spiral threads present on the screw help to hold things firmly through a longer distance and with a better grip. Screws can be seen in lids of bottles, revolving chairs, studs, etc. Pulley. A pulley is a simple machine that consists of a wheel with a grooved rim and a rope running around it. The wheel rotates around a stationary rod or axle. A pulley makes our work easier by changing the direction in which the force has to be applied. Effort is applied in one direction and the load moves in the other direction. A pulley is fixed on top of a flag pole and helps in raising the flag. A pulley is seen on top of the sail of boats. It also draws curtains, etc. Pulley can be fixed or movable. A fixed pulley is fixed on a support with a rope passing over it. The load is tied to one end of the rope and the effort is applied on the other end of the rope. A fixed pulley can be seen in wells where water is drawn out with the help of a bucket. In a movable pulley, weight is supported by more than one pulley, thereby dividing the effort between different pulleys. Machines usually use a combination of fixed and movable pulleys. Wedge. A wedge has two inclined planes that meet at a sharp edge in the shape of a V. A wedge is used to split or cut objects by moving through the object. The cutting edge of a knife, a blade, the head of an axe, and the pointed end of a needle are all examples of wedges. Wheel and axle. A wheel firmly attached to a rod called axle forms a simple machine called wheel and axle. When the wheel rotates, the axle also rotates. The wheel and axle arrangement is used on the steering wheels of cars, in the wheels of bicycles, and in screwdrivers. Greater distance is covered when the wheel is much bigger than the axle, as in the case of the wheels of vehicles. In case of a screwdriver, the handle behaves like a wheel and the long rod behaves like an axle. As the handle is turned, the rod moves through a smaller distance but with a greater. Quick recall. Machines are tools that make us do a great deal of work with lesser effort. Machines can be simple or complex. Simple machines are of 6 types: lever, pulley, screw, inclined plane, wedge, and wheel and axle. Depending on the position of the load, effort, and fulcrum, levers are of 3 classes: Class 1, Class 2, Class 3 levers. An inclined plane is a simple machine that helps to move things from one lever to another. A screw is an inclined plane wrapped in a spiral. It is used to hold things with a better grip. A pulley consists of a wheel with a groove and rope. It is used to lift load. Pulleys can be fixed or movable. A wedge is a simple machine used to split or cut things. A wheel and axle is a simple machine in which a wheel moves around a rod called axle. New words. Machine, a tool that makes our work easier by helping us to overcome a large force by applying less effort. Simple machine, machine that uses a single force to overcome a single load. Lever, a rigid rod that can move freely around a fixed point called fulcrum. Pulley, a wheel with a groove and a rope going around it. Inclined plane, a slope with one end higher than the other. Screw, an inclined plane wrapped into a spiral. Wedge, 2 inclined planes that meet at a sharp edge in the shape of a V.